Hey guys, I've actually gotten a few letters on rope dart construction. Generally, when you get a rope dart, whether store, through the mail, whatever it is, it'll come looking like this. Now, I just want to point out two things. Generally, it has a small flag and thin rope. Now, this is going to come into play because you're going to want to change those. You know what I mean? Something that looks like this thick. That's it. I mean, whatever. A little more, a little less. It's not going to make a difference. It's your skill level, period. Don't ever blame the rope. And you're going to also want to get some kind of a flag. I had a friend of mine make me a bunch of silk flags, very kind of her. You know, it's not that hard to do. I've even, you can rip a sleeve off. I've done that. Just rip a sleeve and use that. Whatever. You just need something with drag. You don't want the flag to be too big. Much bigger than this. This is, not good at all. But you don't want the flag to be too big either. I see sometimes people have huge flags, and while you want drag, you just really want a little drag once you start really getting into the rope dart. Something that drags too much, it's going to have an inconsistent speed when you're using it, because sometimes it'll drag and it'll be kind of thick, and sometimes it thins out, it's a little faster. You're generally going to want to have a flag size that's going to keep the drag consistent, if that makes sense. Making the rope dart. We're going to take the rope that it comes with off. We're going to take the flag that it comes with off. Alright, so here's my rope. You're going to want to start with a lot of rope, just because if you mess up or whatever it is, more rope initially, of course, is better than less. Now, a general rule of thumb when measuring out the rope length, there's actually two different ways. I'll show you the one up here first. You could take the rope, the end, put it in one hand, and so I have my thumb here, and I'm going to pull so that the rope when folded together is just about here, the size of my wingspan. Let me turn this. Boom. Here. Just about. Now that I have this, boom. So we know this is going to be the end, like the handle. This is the entire length. I'm going to just give myself maybe another 6 inches, something like that. Maybe if it's your first time, go a foot. That'd be fine too. So that's going to be my scissors. Cut the rope. So we make the handle first. Try to make sure I can get this right into the camera. I'm going to put it around my wrist, and I don't want to have too much extra slack. I want the slack at the other end, because that's the end the dart's going to go on, and that's going to be the adjusting side. So, I guess it goes without saying, the side that you're going to be adjusting with, you want to have the most, available options. In this case, it's the length of the rope. We want to make a slip knot. One. And two. So there's your slip knot. You want it to be, you don't want like a big hole for the slip knot. You want it, you hear that? Because it's snug. That's what you want. So once you're finished with making your slip knot, I like to put a little tape over here, duct tape. So from here, just going to put a little tape. You want, yeah, I'll show you. You could even go with a little bit more coming out, but you see that you want that to be sticking out, because it's always a good judgment to make sure that the tape is holding, and as long as this stays out here, that knot will never come out. Again, you want it snug, but not too snug, because it gets real hard to close. So, or to slide through. So when I first do this part, I like to go. Might have done okay. I like to go up and down a little bit just to kind of get it, you know, grease the axles a little bit, if you will, if you'll indulge me in that terrible analogy. Boom, put it on, make sure it feels good, like a nice watch. Boom, there's your handle. Easy, right? My dart, my rope, ready to go. With we'll also now go over the second way to measure the length. So you have this one way, so pretend like the dart was on it, here, for argument's sake. You would want something, something like this, here, just holding the dart. Boom. Wingspan kind of a thing. That would be the best length for me, and yours will be for you. Second way to do it, and this is the way I really want you to do it because it's a better measure of what is actually going on, and you'll see why in a moment. I'll start out, I'll just make some type of easy knot. This is certainly not going to be the last final knot, so it does, just a quick boom knot. I'm going to want to be standing straight up, have a full wingspan, if you can see, boom, full wingspan, and the dart here dropping straight down. Now in this case, the dart is hitting the floor, so we don't want that, of course. So from here, we're going to move the dart further up the rope. So we were here, and now let's go this way a little bit. Boom, and stop again. Real quick knot, whatever, no big deal. And test again. Actually pretty good right here. So I have my full wingspan. I'm standing up straight, and look where the dart is hanging. Look. It's just above the ground, maybe, I don't know, 2 to 3 inches hanging off the ground, not touching, that's it. This to me that's a winner. I have the dart, I have the knot, boom, tape. One nice go around. And same thing, I don't want to cut this part here clean. I want to leave a little bit so it doesn't fall. I want to leave a little bit because as long as this part is hanging out here, this little piece, the knot will never be undone. So, all right. The rope is tied. If you look at it, so I've heard that the ring is actually supposed to make like a plum blossom. I think that's awesome if that's really what it is. I never knew that, and it makes sense. But so if you're holding it here, I have it on. I want to tie my flag to that same ring. And I guess that's your rope dart construction. Now the rope initially will be a little stiff, but you practice what you're doing and whatever it is, and you just make it work. Ooh, it's fucking small in here. Wow. So you can rope dart in a room. It is possible. It's psychotic, but it's possible. If you have any questions, and again, a few people wrote in and were asking about this. If you have any questions on the rope dart construction, definitely you can leave a message, email me, info@ropedarts.com. Oh, one other thing before I forget. So it's brand new rope, and when you start practicing, the fact that you're going back and forth for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on end, the rope is going to start to stretch a little bit and get longer, and meh. So that is going to affect this measurement. So keep this in mind. How do we solve that problem? Well, it's my rope dart from 2 rope darts ago or something. You just put knots towards the end. Here's the end, and yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 knots. You can almost look at it as how old this rope dart is. It's not 4 years, but the fact that it has 4 knots in it means that I was using it for a while, and it stretched out for a long time. So you're practicing, you're going for a while. Obviously, you want to make the knot at the end as close to this as possible. And what that just did is it shortened our rope dart length. Whatever it was, it's shorter right now. I could actually feel it hanging right now. That's a little bit shorter. And that's it. That's how you fix that problem. Don't do it on this end, because obviously your hand is going to be sliding up and down the rope, and it really doesn't touch this far, down the rope. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson on rope dart construction. It was a bit long. I apologize, but it's that's how you do it. I don't know any other way to say it.